We are back with 428 Shibuya Scramble. The last stream was, not good for story. No, it was not. We were directly blocked when we were playing as Osawa, but when it came to Midorikawa and Tama, they had no choice but to go to bad ends. So we're gonna have to do something to unlock Osawa and to unlock something better for Tama Midorikawa. So that means we're immediately going to have to go to a choice. Are we going to play as Kano or Achi? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess we could do K or A? How does that sound? Fakafan votes for Kano. That's 1 for Kano. Do we have any other options, please? I'm most curious. I'm actually curious as to how this is going to go for real, because Achi's more fun, but I think Kano influenced Tama's story. We do have 2 votes for Kano anyway. Yeah, see, Insane Buffoon saying the same thing. We gotta help out Chiaki. Yeah, everybody's going Kano. Alright, Kano it is. Kablam. Kano had been watching Syndicate members hand off the attaché case for an hour and a half. He still had no idea where this relay might be headed. The man he was tailing now was about 10 meters away, close enough that Kano could close the distance and apprehend him at a moment's notice. But his orders remained the same. Follow and observe. What a pain in the ass. He watched as the case was handed off once more. By now, the shock of seeing it passed to yet another accomplice had worn off. It's already been 90 minutes, huh? This freaking guy. It was Sasayama. At some point, he'd crept up on Kano from behind. They don't seem like they're trying to get away at all, Kano said. They're just walking. What could they be up to? Sasayama shrugged. Yeah, it's weird. Kano recalled, oh, I forgot about these. The Dick Dictum, number 89. Ka-chong. It's like the Yakuza text. Dick Dictum 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. Oh, what is this? If Tateno's wisdom held true, the Syndicate must have some reason for what it was doing. Were they just trying to throw the investigators off their scent? No, that couldn't be it. They were wandering in circles, staying right in the same area. They were just running up the clock. What if that's exactly what they were after? Buying time? Kano felt a sudden conviction that he was on the right track. If they needed more time to make sure they got their hands on the ransom payment... Wait. Hold on. Could it be that the real case had already been switched out? That's actually what I was thinking. Or the ransom money wasn't even in the case anymore. Wow, what's it gonna be, chat? A or B? This ought to be interesting. I'm actually quite curious. So, the case is gone, or this is the real case, but the money's gone. Where should I go with this? Because my assumption was A, but then again, I hadn't considered B. So, both of these seem interesting. Although I will admit that B seems like it might be more work. You have to get the money out of the case. I don't know how they would pull that off. But then again, who even knows with this game? We have 1 vote for A, 2 for A. Yeah, A, but both really. I know, right? We have 2 for A, 1 for B, but A's dominating. A has 4 all of a sudden. We'll see if we get any more. Yes, Strange Mr. Kibby, it may be a non-choice. I mean, yeah, I don't know what I would do about it. Either way, right? I suppose, like, either way, whatever's supposed to be there is gone, right? But I guess we're going with A. It made a certain amount of sense. By handing the case off to one accomplice after another, they were leading the detectives to pay more attention to the individuals in the case itself. That could enable them to swap the case while all the focus was elsewhere. Kano shared his hunch with Sasayama. I see. I mean, it is a possibility. Yeah, we might be following the wrong case. There was a palpable tension in the air now. Kano, Sasayama said, you gotta report into Kuze. On it. Kano's hand flashed to his wireless. But Kuze was dismissive. No, that's the case, I assure you. Well, no offense, sir, but how can you be sure? Kuze sighed. Idiot! Yeah, pretty much, actually, because that's my job. There's an ID tag in that case that allows us to keep tabs on it. There's no way these crooks could have whipped up a duplicate. ID tag? What ID tag? Wait, no, that's right. Kano had forgotten all about that detail in the wake of his all-nighter. Oh, right. Don't you oh right me. Clearly you weren't hired for your brains. Focus on what you're good at. Oof. Wrong decision. Kuze ended the call. Still, Kano couldn't shake his conviction that something was off. Now I wonder what option B would have been. The man with the attaché case made his way back to Shibuya Station. The heck, Sasayama grumbled? The heck. He's right back where we started. Yeah. Kano felt his frustration growing. It honestly looked like the syndicate was just randomly lugging that case around town. Near Shibuya Station, a girl approached the suspect. What? Oh, just some person. She was Japanese and entirely unlike any of the other criminal accomplices. She spoke to the man while showing him something on a notepad. He glanced at the pad, but did not slow down. Within moments, he had left her behind. It looked like she just passed him a message. Well, that's sure fishy, Sasayama muttered. Yeah, Kuze's in on it. Watch that be the case. What, the girl? Asked Kano. Yeah. Want to go hit her up? Sasayama could only mean one thing. Questioning her. Yeah, let's go see what she knows. She can't be involved with this, can she? I don't know, man. Dick Dictum says the more irrelevant it seems. Like, maybe the guy really did just pass by some advertisement he didn't care about. But you don't want to just say, no, that can't be it, to a potential piece of evidence. So, which way should I go for this one? Oh, interesting, Winterburn. Yeah, could that be the reporter lady? Are we finally going to get to see what Chiaki looks like? Interesting. Yeah, we did know that Kano interferes, not interferes, but like meets up with Chiaki at some point in his story. Could this be that point? So, we should go for A for that reason, because if we go for B, then just like, I don't think we're going to get a new wrong ending, we'll just get the Midorikawa ending. So everyone's going A on this one. Alright. You know what would be really funny? If we pass her, and then the real reporter is just like 2 feet away. Let's go see what she knows. Sasayama and Kano hurried over to the girl. Excuse me, miss, we'd like to ask you a few... Are you happy with your life? The young woman shouted. She thrust her notepad in Kano's face. Tell me this, are you happy with your life right now? Yeah, so this is completely irrelevant to their case, but this might help Midorikawa, whom they don't even know. This is kind of great. Huh? Looking at the notepad, Kano saw the same question written there in big bold letters, so it's legit, like, are you happy with your life? The girl's eyes widened in surprise, as if she hadn't expected the two men to actually stop and listen. Right now, sir, she continued more quietly, are you happy? If so, if you could please take the survey about, about your life. Are you happy with it? The more she spoke, the more flustered she became. Sasayama stepped in. Hey, I need to know, did you speak with that Western fellow just now? Ah! Huh? No, that isn't what I'm asking. Sir, are you happy with your life right now? Are you happy with your life right now? Sasayama's face is freaking amazing. He's like, what? Kano got a sinking feeling in his stomach. So this is interesting. So it's a waste of time for Kano, and yet we need to do this because Midorikawa needs information. This is kind of great. Strange Mr. Kibi, that would be hilarious. I can't read this. It's in Japanese. This kid was looking for religious converts or something. You did speak with him, didn't you? Sasayama snapped. What did you tell him? The girl's rambling abruptly ceased. Her already ruddy face went even redder, and tears welled up in her eyes. They're really holding that picture. Poor kid, Kano thought. She's just out here trying to get people to listen to her survey questions. There's no way she's part of this kidnapping plot. Look, miss, he said, for the time being, it would be a good idea for you to leave the area. Afraid I'm not at liberty to explain. The girl's only response was to start sobbing outright. Oh, I hope this wasn't the wrong decision. We just send her away? Oh, jeez. I can't do this anymore. I want to go home. Kano and Sasayama exchanged awkward glances. No kidding. I want to go home. I want to go home. This is so uncomfortable. Passersby began shooting curious looks at the trio. Kano, you get back to work, Sasayama said. I'll escort this girl to the train station. He didn't quite manage to stifle the embarrassment in his voice. No kidding. Right, Kano said. He hurried away, his eyes already searching for the suspect they'd been tailing. Boy, did she pick a bad day. It didn't take long to find him. The man's black garb made him stand out in the crowd at the intersection. It occurred to Kano that all the criminals who'd handled the attaché case had been wearing the same black clothing. That fact made the whole situation even weirder. Could they really be ignorant that they were being followed while they were all wearing the same eye-catching outfit? It was more like they were going out of their way to make sure the investigators spotted them. That still didn't provide any clues as to what they were after, though. The longer Kano kept tailing these guys, the less it all made sense. Was it really such a good idea to keep this up? Someone's life was in danger, and they were just letting the kidnappers carry out their plan, whatever it was. The very first page of the Dick Diary spelled things loud and clear on that front. Are we actually getting number 1? Yeah, the number 1 piece of information. Dick Dictum, number 1. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. Right now, the single most important thing was ensuring the hostage's safety. This was a situation where Tateno would have stuck to his guns for sure. Kano thought back to that day, 3 years ago. Oh, nice transition. A burglar had shut himself inside a financial office and doused the place in gasoline. Kano had just been put on police box duty and was ordered to the scene because his box was just down the street from the standoff. Nobody is assigned to a detective post right after graduating from the police academy. Detective positions can be quite hard to come by. Candidates are selected for detective training only after accumulating enough experience working at the local police box, a very small type of neighborhood station manned by only a handful of officers. Interesting. Several officers had surrounded the building, keeping close tabs on the situation. The suspect was shouting nonsense through the entrance on the first floor. Things were getting heated. A crowd of alarmed onlookers had started to form as well. Step aside, a voice said suddenly from amidst the throng. A middle-aged man in a rumpled business suit had approached Kano as he hovered nervously at the edge of the scene. I'm sorry, sir, Kano said. You have to stay back for your own safety. He attempted to usher the man back into the crowd. A no-nonsense look crossed the newcomer's face, and he spoke in a low voice. I'm Detective Tateno from the Shibuya precinct. What's the situation? Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Yes, of course, Kano stammered, then quickly explained. He hasn't taken anyone hostage, but there are still people on the upper floors of the building. Giving only a slight nod, Tateno marched straight up to the building. The plastic container of gasoline the suspect had used was on the ground out front. Tateno picked it up and dumped the remaining contents out over his head. Kano was at a loss for words. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. I've covered myself in gasoline too, Tateno called out from the entryway. The tension in the air ratcheted itself up several notches. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Kano heard the burglar shouting from inside. If you're gonna do it, Tateno called out. We can die together. And he walked into the building. All Kano could do was watch things unfold through the plate glass window. Tateno was talking to the burglar, but Kano couldn't make out the words. The crook was clutching a lighter, his hand trembling. His expression was like that of a frightened child. Tateno slowly approached him and took firm hold of his shaking hand. The onlookers erupted into cheers and applause. Tateno handed the now docile suspect over to the detectives, then wearily sat down against the planter out front. It was like something ripped straight out of a police drama. That was amazing, Kano breathed. You have to deal with guys like that as quickly as you can. You let a situation like this get even a little out of hand, and you never know how things might go south on you. Tateno spoke quietly, almost as if he were talking to himself. As the police evacuated the rest of the building, Kano noticed that there were children and elderly people among them. If the perp had managed to set the fire, there was no way they would have escaped in time. But I mean, what if he'd actually set the place on fire? If someone's willing to risk their life, you're not going to convince them of anything unless you do the same. Kano still remembered the awe he'd felt at Tateno's matter-of-fact tone. Kano hadn't become a police officer out of any real sense of duty. He just thought it would make Rumi happy if he became a detective like her father. Besides, civil servants tended to stay afloat in times of recession, and his time playing rugby meant he was in good physical shape for the job. He'd never really thought too much about protecting the citizenry or keeping the peace. But now here he was in the presence of a detective who'd literally risked his life in the line of duty without a second thought. A police officer never loses sight of what he's supposed to protect. Ever. Getting back to his feet, the Tenno tugged off his gasoline-drenched coat and walked away. Kano wrote the words in a notebook he just purchased. Thus, the Dick Diary was born. Thinking back to the way Tateno had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers made Kano feel all the more raw about just tailing these syndicate members. Letting the crooks just wander around wasn't going to bring Maria Osawa to safety. Of that, Kano was now certain. Shoot, it's bleeding pretty bad, he heard someone say behind him. Who was that? He turned and saw two young men carrying another along. There was a towel wrapped tightly around the third's head. Hey, what happened? Kano asked. Shut your mouth. Kano blanched. Are you goddamn serious? Can the attitude, he's trying to help, another voice cut in. It was Sasayama. Had he finished dealing with the girl by the station then? What happened to your friend? Out of my way, man. I ain't afraid to kick your ass. Look, cut the crap and let me take a quick look. Sasayama unwrapped the towel from around the young man's head. Ooh, that's nasty. The young guy was a little more than a kid. Was a little more? Just the young guy was little more than a kid. His head was soaked red with blood. He appeared to be unconscious. They couldn't just leave him like this, but they were in the middle of a job. They should probably call juvenile affairs. They were in the middle of a job, but they couldn't just leave him like this, the other way around. They should probably take him to a hospital. So do we lose Maria and save this guy, or do we focus on Maria and call somebody else to save this guy? This is a legit question. So, A or B, ladies and gentlemen, which way should we go on this one? This is... I have the way I want to lean, but with this game you really never know. So how's this going to be? Or how's it going to A? So do we have any votes? I'm curious as to how this is going to play out. Because this really seems like a difficult question, I think. We have a vote for A. But do we have any others? We have B. We have B again. Hello, Jonathan. We have 3 Bs. Yeah, it looks like we're going in that direction then. And this is a good point. Falcovan said this might give us a good excuse to get away from the goose chase. So, okay. Take him to a hospital. Kano offered to help carry the bloodied young man, but Sasayama stepped in front of him. Should be a regular comma, not a semicolon. He quickly flashed the 2 youths his badge. Oh crap, you a cop? Yeah. Sasayama nodded. Who you kids with? Bamfs? Shibuya's number 2 gang. Its leader, Sohei Akari, has gathered up some big mean dudes in an attempt to make Shibuya's turf. The gang's leadership is inferior to that of SOS, but on an individual level, its members tend to be stronger in a fight. Word is, the rise of the Bamfs is one of the reasons SOS has been growing more combative recently. My god, Bamf is the sound that Nightcrawler makes when he teleports. Could this mean? SOS? SOS, admitted one of the young men after some hesitation. Who attacked you? Yo, it ain't like that. What was it like then? Infighting? The young man was silent. Sasayama must have been right on the mark. In the course of his police duties, Kano picked up a fair amount of street gossip from the young people in Shibuya. Hello, Paul 4. Hello, Nathan. Lately, the scuttlebutt about the legendary SOS gang was that they were dealing with some internal strife. Look, don't worry about it. I get it. There's a hospital just down that way. Hurry up and get him there. The young man batted off Sasayama's offered hand, then quickly hauled his friend away. Well, sounds like SOS is on the verge of breaking up with all this infighting, huh? Kano asked. He kept his eyes on the young men as they headed off. Yeah, seems like it's been pretty rough. You know, what with the original leader leaving and all, the detectives in juvenile affairs were well acquainted with SOS's original leader. That would be Achi. Initially, SOS was nothing more than a small group of like-minded young people who hung out together, but as its membership grew, the general public began referring to the group as a gang. Word has it that back when Achi was in charge, gang members never started any conflicts themselves, but simply responded in kind when others brought fights their way. The stories were like something out of some after-school special. There were tales of them taking down gangs who sold drugs to kids, or breaking into Yakuza front offices to save their friends. The detectives with juvenile affairs took these stories with a grain of salt, but if there really were young people like that out there, kinda hope to meet them someday. Yeah, Paul, for scuttlebutt, that's actually, like, word on the street. It's a very uncommon word. The detectives had to hurry to catch up with the man they were tailing. He was still strolling along, seemingly in no particular hurry. They kept him in sight as he circled another pedestrian overpass and circled back around. Or crossed another overpass and circled back around. Still following the same MO, huh? Sasayama grumbled. Guess so, Kano said. How did things go with the girl? He was careful not to take his eyes off the mark as they talked. I managed to calm her down and get her on a train. She was going on about how she wanted to go someplace far, far away, but whatever, it's all good now. Oh no, we did choose wrong. Oh no, we'll have to go back. I feel kind of bad about the whole thing, Kano said. Well, she's not pertinent to the case anyhow. Guess it's back to dogging this guy. Sasayama nodded toward the suspect, looking none too pleased. Well, unless... You know what? No, she called Midorikawa on the phone and just said forget this. If we sent her somewhere, that might have been the right decision, so... So, Sasayama? I'm thinking the attaché case is going to get handed off again any moment now. Huh? Sasayama appeared at the mark, who was scanning the plaza he just entered, apparently looking for someone. I take one side, you take the other? Kano suggested. Sasayama's eyes went wide. Say what now? Well, that way we'd apprehend both perps involved with the handoff. Sasayama didn't reply. Look, HQ isn't thinking about the hostage's safety, Kano said, but that needs to take priority here. Sasayama's face took on a rare solemnity. Disobeying a direct order is... need a little space. Not something to do lightly. A detective's behavior is governed by the Local Public Service Act. Article 32 states that a detective is to faithfully follow the orders of a superior in the course of his duties. Violating this is punishable by a warning, reduction in pay, suspension from duty, or dismissal. In the event of a warning, not only is the individual expected to submit a formal letter of apology, but pay raises may be delayed or performance bonuses cut. That's a big deal, damn. I mean, it makes sense, but like, whoa. Then after a moment he added, but I'm on board. I'm sick of all this wandering around anyway. That's the Sasayama I know, Kano replied with a chuckle. Sasayama gave him a silent thumbs up. Oh man. What? The two detectives took up position on opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. I see. You ready, he asked. Just give the word. There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing the surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place. And then... Well, 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 if it isn't Mr. Toyama. Kano's ears perked up at the sound of an aggressive greeting, the voice dripping with feigned cheer. Wow. He whirled around to see two rough-looking young men approaching a father and daughter. Really? So these are the guys that Toyama's in trouble with? Man, everyone's meeting everybody. We're starting to come together now. The older man looked pained. Please, just hold on, he said placatingly. I thought we agreed on 4 o'clock. The young man snarled. Don't you try and play dumb with us, buddy. It's nothing like that, I swear. My girl was just hungry, so I stepped out to... Yeah? How come we didn't just order delivery, huh? Ah, yes, right. I suppose that would work too. Ahaha. Don't you ahaha me, man! Kano watched the argument uneasily. The stranger's altercation put him in a bit of a spot. The crook he was tailing probably wouldn't risk handing off the case with an uproar like this going on. What's going on over there? Sasayama asked. I'm not sure, Kano replied. Looks like some kind of argument. The suspects are going to get wary on us. It's going to screw up the whole handoff. Yeah, I know. So do something about it and get over here, Sasayama said. What? Find some way to shut them up and then get over here. Oh, sure. Alright. Kano headed toward the argument. He was only halfway there when Sasayama called again. He sounded panicked. Hey, Kano! He made a run for it. Huh? Oh, crap. The man they'd been tailing had vanished in the brief time Kano had taken his eyes off of him. Damn, dude. Wait up, Kano shouted. Sasayama was racing after the suspect, and Kano rushed to join him. The man was surprisingly quick, however, and neither detective managed to catch up. In fact, they soon lost sight of him amidst the teeming crowds. Frantically, they dashed through the streets as fast and hard as they could. Man, this is such a pain in the ass. We lost him, Sasayama admitted at last. Damn it. He stamped his foot on the asphalt in disgust. Director Kuze, Kano gasped over the phone. I'm sorry, but we lost the man with the attaché case. There was a heavy sigh on the other end of the line. Kano braced himself. He wasn't going to be able to weasel out of this one with just an I'll do better next time. Sasayama, Kano, get your asses back to the precinct. Kuze out. Man, this is uncomfortable even to watch. With that, Kuze switched off the line. That sucks. Back to the precinct. Kano knew full well what that meant. They were off the case. There was a gnawing in his gut. If those two punks hadn't shown up, no. If that father and his daughter hadn't turned up, he might have been able to apprehend the suspect. Is this the bad end? Just an inevitable bad end on like every player, every character? Oh, don't let it get you down, Sasayama said. I mean, paper pushing can be kind of fun. The look on his face, however, suggested he didn't think it was fun at all. Not one bit. With the air of two men heading to an execution, Kano and Sasayama trudged back toward the Shibuya precinct. Oh my god, it's just bad end after bad end with this game. Oof, we blew it. Kano was taken off the case because he lost track of the suspect thanks to a random altercation nearby, and his glum conclusion was correct. If that father-daughter duo hadn't shown up, this wouldn't have happened. A certain someone needs to give those two some better advice, and a certain other someone needs to meet up with them outside their house. Wow! Both of those are key to changing poor Kano's fate. This is unbelievable! Yo, this is ridiculous. So, who's gonna give them the advice? Midorikawa? Maybe? And we gotta deal with Chiaki besides. I guess we can do Achi now. Oh, yeah, that is true. Falcon, we could try the second option with Chiaki, even though it's probably gonna still be unpleasant, but we'll try it. God, man, everything sucks. She can't be involved with this, can she? Sasayama flashed him a skeptical look. Don't let your preconceptions get the better of you. Could get you killed. Preconceptions are fixed notions one has about something before the facts are known. Can be a hindrance to thinking freely. If you think about it too hard, you might fall victim to the preconception that preconceptions themselves are always bad. I know that, but still, she doesn't come across as involved to me. Kano knew better than to judge people based on appearance, but he was still convinced the girl wasn't part of this gang. She just struck him as far too, well, inept, really. Alright, I'll go look into the girl, Sasayama said. You keep following the attaché case. And Kano nodded and hurried after the man. Okay. So we just don't even get involved. And then we're back. Everyone been wearing the same black clothing, but I can't press down though. Are we going to... There we go. Other choice. Actually, wait a minute. What happened to your friend? No. Like, how did Sasayama come back? This is the Teteno story, yeah. We did this, but when does Sasayama come back? The Teteno story ends. Dick Diary was born. Yeah, has he finished dealing with the girl? What happened to your friend? Yeah, just did he happen to finish dealing with the girl? I don't know, maybe. Okay. Call Juvenile Affairs. Part of the Communal Safety section, which handles crimes pertaining to public decency, finances, pollution, and so on, Juvenile Affairs deals with misconduct and criminal activity involving minors. Since many SOS members are underage, the Shibuya Precinct's Juvenile Affairs Division has been ramping up its efforts to deal with the gang, although one detective in particular has been using this as an excuse to go on patrol at arcades, ignoring his duties in order to fuel his video game addiction. So So Kana took out his cell phone so he could call the precinct, but Sasayama stopped him, then showed the two youngsters his badge. Oh crap, you a cop? Oh, we're doing this again? Uh-huh. So we still need to hurry with catch the person. Cross an overpass, still following the same MO, guess so. I think we're just going to go to the same result. Oh, okay, this is where we explain it. How did things go with the girl? You were right, she's not part of this. Just one of those street evangelists or something. Oh, yeah? Yeah, she kept asking me, but are you really happy with your life? Wigged me out. I bailed out of there quick. I don't know if there's a happy ending to this story. What the hell? So, Sasayama, I'm thinking the attaché case is going to get handed off any moment now. Huh? Appeared at the mark, looking for someone. I take one side, you take the other, and we're back. And then bad ending. Okay. So I guess we gotta do, probably Achi. Here we go. That's right, they're still running. I forgot about this. Achi and Hitomi scampered through the back roads along Center Guy, white sneakers and pumps slapping on the pavement. Achi kept his eyes peeled, continually checking ahead and behind as they darted through the gaps between the buildings. Finally, they stopped in a narrow alley. There's no way he'll find us here, he said. Oh, that's right, yeah, that the guy was actually armed and they had to quickly, dodge out of the way. That's freaking intense. No one knows about this place. He took another look around and let out a sigh of relief. It seemed they'd managed to shake the gunman for now. Back when Achi was with SOS, he had come through Center Guy practically every day. The abbreviation for Studs of Shibuya, the name given to the group by Achi when he founded it. Originally just a bunch of like-minded young people hanging out together, it has since become known as a gang that picks fights around Shibuya. The gang had started out as little more than a group of local teens. They didn't do much in particular, just horsing around and killing time. What mattered was that they were having fun. But it wasn't long before it wasn't all fun and games. Achi couldn't help but notice the slobs who were making a mess of Shibuya, dirtying it all up. He wasn't about to let them get away with it. Most frequently it was folks who tossed cigarette butts out on the street, or plastered walls and graffiti. When they didn't respond to his more gentle warnings, he found slightly more forceful ways of getting his point across. SOS got a reputation. Street punks started trying to pick fights with its members. Those guys required a bit more force to handle. And when it came to the worst of the lot, the drug dealers, the muggers, the guys who tried to force themselves on women, it was full-on battle, no holds barred. Before long, SOS had established itself as something of a vigilante corps. Soon it became known as one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya. Aw yeah. Let's lay low here for a bit and see what happens, Achi said. The alley where they hid was like a dimly lit chasm, obscuring them from view. The only problem now was figuring out what to do next. They needed to find that blue van again, which meant figuring out the best way to get back to Dogenzaka without the man with the cane catching them once more. Achi? Hitomi whispered. I think I could handle myself from here. She got to her feet and gave Achi a deep bow. Whoa, Achi held up a hand. We've been over this already. You're not going to be okay. That guy has a gun. If you let her go up against that assassin alone, he might as well be the one to pull the trigger himself. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me, Hitomi concluded, as if she hadn't heard him. She started to shuffle out of the alleyway. Hey, what did I just say? Really, Achi, I appreciate your concern, but I can't in good conscience put you in danger anymore. But, I mean... Achi tried to press the point, but Hitomi cut him off. There's no good reason for you to risk yourself to keep helping me. Her tone was resolute, but Achi was determined to help her anyway. He refused to back down. Achi knew she had a point. He decided to back off. This is interesting because we have to follow Achi's story. I don't believe we ever follow Hitomi. So if we drop her now, then he's going to, if we do B, if we drop her now, then he's going to go off and do other stuff and maybe interact with other characters, and someone else will meet Hitomi later. Or he stays with her because Hitomi's the real plot after all? I don't know. So what should we do with this one? A or B? Hello there, Heron. A or B, what's it gonna be? I'm actually quite curious about this. And it's also dead silent. So we have one vote for B. Go ahead and back off. B is for back off. But do we have any other options? Because so far I have exactly one vote, so it's looking like B is going to be the decision. But wait, we have one for A as well. So I'm going to need people to vote in different directions. 2 for B. So B is winning so far. But wait, never mind. 2 for A. We are tied. Do we have any other takes? Hey there, Galleon. Any other takes? Because I would like at least one more vote so I can move on with the game. Because if you don't, then I'll make a decision myself and kill the whole point of having chat vote. Alright. Oh, we do have another vote. Well, we got 2 more, B and A again, so once more we're at an impasse. So I'm going to make my own decision, I think, because this is a deadlock at this point. So B was the first vote, so I'll go ahead and do B and just see what happens. Back off. Just then, a bit of light shone into the alleyway from above. It looked like someone on the adjacent building's upper floor turned on the lights. Remember, this is the jump option. But first, building. The Nokane building. This multi-tenant building has 7 floors, but a decade-old urban legend tells of a mysterious 13th floor. A Diet Age sales demo is being held on one of the upper floors today. Hey, I'm curious. So we could jump over to Tama. I'm not going to do that yet. The light illuminated Hitomi's face. When Achi saw the look in her eyes, he reconsidered his decision. She was trying her hardest to hide it, but she was clearly terrified. No way was he letting her go back out there alone. Still, if he tried to insist, she would only refuse him again. Hitomi, humor me for a second here. Tell me, what's the proper way to dispose of a plastic bottle? She stared at him in surprise. Well, first you remove the cap and wrapper, then you rinse out the inside and crush it? Achi let out the breath he'd been holding. Okay, good. Huh? I don't understand. What's good? You gave me my reason why I have to help you out. I super respect people who respect the environment. I'm one of those whatchamacallits. An environmentalist. Achi pointed at his mean, clean shirt. Hitomi hesitated. And what was your plan if I had said the answer was to toss the plastic in with the trash? Well, then I need to stick with you to help teach you. That's my secret. I make my own luck. Environmental awareness begins with good education. So then you were going to tag along with me regardless? Look, I'm just super pumped to learn that you care so much about proper recycling. Achi cracked a huge grin. This actually makes me wonder. If we had insisted, would things have gone south? Okay then. Okay. If you're really that sure about it, I guess I could use your help a little while longer. Hitomi flashed him a little smile. Man, she's so cute, Achi thought. Bad end. Wait, what? We do keep going, so I'm going to have to come back to Tama later. Sneaking out from the alley, Achi and Hitomi began to make their way along the side streets back toward Dogenzaka. This is hard to read because the background's so busy. It was a pretty big detour compared to... This is hard to read, taking the main thoroughfares, but that would be worth it if it meant they avoided the man with the cane. Achi looked over at Hitomi as she walked alongside him. Her face was solemn. He could feel the intensity of her worry for her sister. Ooh, well, well, well. Look who's got himself a little cutie. Oh, is this Bamf? The sudden call startled him. He spun around. Ah, thank you. Oh, oh, wow! Wow! So when Sasayama Kano ran into this guy, like Achi must have beaten the living piss out of not this guy, but his friend. Yo, Mean Clean, over here! Achi spotted a young man up ahead, sneering at him. That classic thug pose on the right, like the crouch with the cigarette. At his side were 2 others. Achi recognized the lot. SOS. Hitomi let out a nervous squeak. Achi? Don't worry about them. He led her onward, attempting to stride right past the trio. Whoa, hey now, you just gonna ignore me? That's pretty damn rude, especially coming from someone who used to be an old buddy. The three toughs moved to bar Achi's path. Ooh, she is hella fine. Come on, ain't you gonna introduce us? I hope to God that hella fine is like that, like, what was it supposed to be? Like, she's right up my alley, which translates to my cup of tea or something. That was hilarious. Hella fine. Extremely attractive. They're really doing this. The etymology of hella is somewhat unclear, but its meaning is undisputed. Very, a lot of, totally, and the like. Potential synonyms for hella fine include mighty fine, fine as hell, and bangin'. Really? This game's amazing. Sorry, man, Achi said. I'm in a bit of a hurry here. He gave them a tepid smile. A big hurry, huh? Where to? Some love hotel in Mariamacho? Mariamacho? There we go. Too rich, another climbed in. She a screamer, Achi. Achi? Oh, this gonna be good. Take a stereotypical way to poke fun at a would-be amorous couple. Now take Achi's name. There you go. This game's way too good. Well, yeah, Dracala, just hella does sound like hellava, but the grammar doesn't work for that. Like, she's hellava fine. Instead, you would have said something like, she's a hell of a woman, or something like that. Like, the grammar doesn't quite line up, even though it still pretty much means that. They burst out howling like a gang of monkeys. One of them cackled like a grinning idiot. Achi. We get it, Jesus Christ. Achi felt his anger boil. These guys were in sore need of a major ass-kicking. But there was too much at stake. He was just going to have to suck it up and ignore them for the time being. Well, I don't know if it's the right decision, but when Kano and Sasayama found these guys, somebody received a major ass-kicking. So, what's it going to be? Ass-kicking or suck it up and walk away? How's this gonna resolve? We already know how it may resolve, but who even knows? Chat, what is your opinion on this? A is for ass-kicking. B is for ignore them for the time being. B is for being. The time of which. And we're ignoring them. I'm brilliant at wordplay and spelling. So we have one vote for A. Fuck if on A. Too bad if it's a bad ending. So what are we doing? We have 2 for A. 3 for A. 4 for A. I think I know where we're going with this one. These guys were in sore need of a major ass-kicking. Achi stepped up to the ringleader. Well, done. The tough dropped to the ground with a dull thud. Oh, sorry. That was terribly rude of me. Achi kept his tone light and jovial, but he eyed the others like a hawk eyeing its prey. Is he gonna be alright? Hitomi murmured. She looked at the man Achi had laid out with some concern. He'll be fine. If that's all it took to knock him out, he's got no right to act all badass. And then the cops tell him to go to the hospital. Achi, huh? I don't believe I've had the pleasure. This is so eccentric. A taller man with an angry gleam in his eyes had appeared atop the steps nearby. He must have turned up during the commotion. He radiated a distinct aura of menace. That's me, Achi replied. And just who are you? For once, it was someone he didn't recognize. Ktong. The name's Yoji Kiryu. Used to roll with the gang from Ikebukuro until a few months ago. Known as the Killer Whale of Bukuro, he answered any and all resistance with his fists. His crazy antics led him to being kicked out of the gang, however, and lately he's been hanging around Shibuya. I joined up with SOS after you left. Now I'm Susumu's number 2 guy. The newcomer stared at Achi's face, sizing him up. Our legendary founder. I've heard so much about you. The founder. It had been a long time since anyone had called him that. There'd been a bunch of arguing over who would take charge of the new group that was forming to set things straight in Shibuya. At some point, folks had started hailing him as the force behind SOS. But founder? That was just something his buddies called him. He had never paid it much heed. Shibuya was a place for fun, not hierarchies. At least in Achi's mind, that was how it ought to be. Burnings? What? Like how you busted up some mean old drug dealers. Rescued your pals from Yakuza bondage. Here, bondage is used strictly in the sense of captivity. Any other types of Yakuza bondage will not be featured in this game. Sorry if the tip link here got your hopes up. God damn, this game is genius! You're a real hero. Kiryu's tongue flicked from his mouth like a snake's. Hitomi shuddered. Achi couldn't blame her for being creeped out. But that's all in the past now, isn't it? Kiryu continued. You went modestly on your way. It's up to us now. And we've helped SOS grow by leaps and bounds to help carry on your legacy, no matter who stands in our way. That thought didn't sit right with Achi. If aggressive expansion was the name of the game, the gang was losing touch with its roots. It wasn't about keeping Shibuya safe and fun anymore. Make big SOS bigger, huh, he said. I'm guessing that was Susumu's call as well. Paul 4, no one brags about being a number 2 guy. Maybe no one brags about it, but Whole Horse in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure aspires to be the number 2 guy. Because number 2 is the most powerful you can be without being number 1. But the number 1 guy is the one who's always targeted. Nobody cares about the number 2 guy. So Whole Horse's desire was to be the number 2 guy. Kiryu didn't answer his question. His mouth merely twisted into a knowing sneer. In any event, I think the boys here need a little lesson in manners. The guillotine ought to do the trick. A capital punishment device invented in 18th century France. The condemned is executed by decapitation, by means of a heavy blade that descends from above. Named for physician Joseph Ignace Guillotine? I guess so. Who advocated its use to the National Assembly, both King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were executed by guillotine. What I think is hilarious is that there's no way that this guy is referring to an actual guillotine. So once again, the chat, or not the chat, the tip window is just being sassy. Just like, here, let me define what a real-life guillotine is in France, like hundreds of years ago. The other gang members started an alarm. Whoa, hey, just calm down, man. Please, anything but the guillotine. Kiryu pointedly ignored their pleas. Whoa, hey, what's the guillotine? Achi asked. Kiryu smirked. The guillotine is the guillotine. Well, does he have one? With me, worms. Without a glance back, Kiryu strolled away. I read that totally wrong. With me, worms. And without a glance back, Kiryu strolled away, and his 2 underlings followed him unhappily. Okay, so I guess this guy's not going to start a fight with Achi right now, but you know you're going to see him be insane, and there's going to be a confrontation later. Achi wondered what lay in store for them, but right now he had more important things to worry about. He literally just decapitates them, like there was no innuendo. He just has a guillotine. Come on, let's go. He took Hitomi by the hand, and they were back on their way. Oh, Hitomi perked up. That's me. She reached into her pocket and took out her cell phone. Huh? She stared at the screen with consternation. What is it? Achi asked. It's an email. From Mr. Tanaka. Who's Mr. Tanaka? Well, he works with my father. I'm not sure what I should do. Achi remembered that the criminal had warned her against contacting her family or the police. She seemed reluctant to even open this message. I'm sure it's fine just to read an email, he said. And besides, he's not the police and he's not your family. Yeah, you're right. Also, we, the players, know who Tanaka is. Yeah, good call, Paul 4. The guillotine is the guillotine. Like, that's a tautology. Yes, it is! Hitomi scanned the message anxiously. It sounds like he's worried about me, she said. And does he know about the kidnapping? Yes, I know my father trusts him. And he's always been so... Hitomi cut herself short. Still, it was clear to Achi that she and this Tanaka person had some sort of close relationship. I wonder if it's safe for me to let him know what the situation is. I think it should be, Achi told her. I mean, the kidnappers aren't going to know you sent an email, right? I actually thought this would be a choice. Hitomi began typing out a response. Achi watched over her, wild speculations running through his mind. There was no way a mild-mannered young lady like her could be dating one of her father's co-workers, was there? Another jump! This game! So this is the keep out moment for Osawa, it has to be. But can we not? Are we not allowed? We actually can't. Interesting. Interesting. Unless she was all about finding herself a sugar daddy? Yeah, that seems her style. No, he was being ridiculous. Achi banished the thought from his mind. Besides, Hitomi's personal life wasn't the problem right now. The problem was that psycho with the cane and the gun. Is something wrong, Hitomi asked. She finished sending her email. Oh no, nothing. Nothing at all. Achi did his best to look nonchalant. It was a good thing she couldn't read his mind. Bad end. What? We're really going on for a while without getting a game over. They exited Center Guy and resumed their approach toward Dogonzaka by way of Mariumacho. There are many hotels in Mariumacho. These are not ordinary establishments, but rather the sort of hotel where two people who are so inclined might... I mean, the punks did say love hotels, and they weren't joking, that is a thing. A couple heading to this kind of place in the early afternoon would without a doubt be assumed to be bent on... You might be wondering whether an option for these two to get up to mischief will appear as a selection prompt. Well, don't get your hopes up. This isn't that kind of game. God damn, this is too good every single time. Hey there, Cassith. Another long detour to decrease their odds of running into the gunman. They made an unlikely pair. Scruffy Achi, limbs lackadaisically swinging to hide his embarrassment, and brisk, purposeful Hitomi. Achi found himself watching her out of the corner of his eye. He could still feel her anxiety. He wished there was some way he could ease her fears. Hey, Hitomi, mind if I ask you something? Sure, go ahead. For the second time, how do you recycle a plastic bottle? Okay, so, I realize this might be kind of a weird question, but he put on a serious face. What does the eco and eco-friendly mean? Yeah, he's doing another one of these. Huh? I know it's about helping the earth and all, but I don't know what it really means, you know? Hitomi thought for a moment. I'm pretty sure it's short for the English word ecology. Oh, duh! Yeah, that was obvious to me, but right, this is Japanese, so that wouldn't be immediately obvious. Which is the science of examining the relationship between man and nature. Ecology, a subset of biology that deals with the reciprocal relationship between organisms and their environment. Nowadays, the term can also refer to cultural and social effects on the global environment. The latter usage can be broad and imprecise, making the exact meaning somewhat difficult to define. Oh right, science. Pleased with himself, Achi chatted on excitedly. A faint smile crept back onto Hitomi's face. Say, you ever hear about the clean river here in Shibuya? A clean river? In Shibuya? Really? Ask 100 youngsters outside of Shibuya Station the same question, and you'd probably get that same answer 100 times. Yeah, the Shibuya River. You know, that drainage channel we saw earlier? Wait, that's the clean river you're talking about? By no reasonable definition was the Shibuya River what anyone would call clean. That's the one, Achi grinned at her confusion. See, the river used to be clean a long time ago. I read about it in this old book called Science Strikes Back, followed by a return of the... biology... oh, freaking... A popular monthly magazine, abbreviated as Super Smash Brothers. Science Strikes Back, SSB. What was I thinking? The series has been running for 29 years now, but the Strike Back appendix is still immensely popular with children. The woman who handles the home deliveries is known as the SSB Lady, and children wait excitedly on the 25th of each month for her to make her rounds. Okay. I used to have that book, Hitomi chirped, her eyes wide with excitement. You're talking about that bit with the river that got turned into a song, right? Oh, this is legit. The famous 1912 song Haru no Ogawa, The Spring Brook, with lyrics by Tatsuyuki Takano and music by Teiichi Okano. It is said that the song was inspired by the view of the upper course of the Shibuya River during Takano's childhood. In the modern day, there's a stone monument bearing the song's lyrics along the Odakyu line between Yoyogi Hachiman and Sangubashi. So this is actually a fact, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's the one. You read it too? I did. Achi felt a giddy rush at this unexpected connection they shared. Imagine if there were still a clean, beautiful river here in Shibuya. It'd be the perfect place for taking a romantic stroll. Hitomi looked up at Achi. She seemed to share the joy in his idea. Wouldn't it be amazing, Achi said, if that dirty little channel could be clean like it used to be? It would. Maybe as amazing as the look on Hitomi's face right now, Achi thought. Hitomi, tell me some more ecology stuff. Hit me with whatever you got. She seemed happy to oblige, and so as they walked along, Hitomi explained the bits of knowledge she picked up over the years. Achi was quiet, hanging on her every word. Bad end, they talked too long. The return to Dogen Saga became an impromptu environmentalism lecture. Hitomi continued until she'd exhausted her ready knowledge. I just don't get it, Achi grumbled when she paused at last. I mean, why is it a bad thing if the planet gets warmer? Wouldn't it make winter in places like Hokkaido way easier? No, you see, because if the whole planet gets warmer, it'll cause the whole ecosystem to collapse. Achi racked his brain. And the ecosystem is what again? Is it like a solar system? Images of the cosmos filled his imagination. No, not really, Hitomi said. So it's more like a sound system then. Not really? Oh. But anyway, you're saying the problem is with the, what was it again? Carbon dioxide. Yeah, that stuff. I'm gonna have to cut down on that. What? We produce it. Yeah, Callion, bad end. They become eco-terrorists. Suddenly, Chris Redfield hunts them down at every turn. I'm gonna stop the bio-terrorists. Sure. That settles it, Achi declared proudly. No more soda for me. Soda? Hitomi asked. Yeah, it's carbonated, right? Hitomi burst out laughing. What? I'm serious. You don't think I could do it? I'm sorry, Hitomi said, catching her breath. It's just... Her face froze, her mirth abruptly vanishing. We'll never figure out the connection of carbonation and carbon dioxide. Ever. Bad end. Oh no. Huh? Achi stared at her face in alarm. What is it? Oh, damn, really? He turned his attention in the direction Hitomi was looking. The man with the cane was bearing down on them. How the hell? Legitimate twist. How did that happen? Oh, come on! You have got to be kidding me! He grabbed Hitomi's hand and ran. This time he headed for the main road, hoping to get lost in the crowd. Hitomi struggled to keep up. She was exhausted after all their earlier running. You can do it, he told her. The guy's got a cane. We can outrun him. The assassin was still hurrying after them. Once we get around the next corner, we'll be out on the main road. Yeah, okay. She strained to get the words out. Bit by bit, her feet were slowing down. It was another 50 meters or so to the main road. Achi realized that they might get caught before they got there. Sorry, Hitomi exclaimed, but I gotta do this. He scooped her up in his arms. Eep! By the time the squeak had escaped her mouth, Achi was already running full out. That cannot be easy. Achi, please put me down? Don't worry, you're super light. It's okay, Hitomi, it's fine. I'm not put off by this, it's all good. Katong! Achi glanced back and saw the assassin, now far behind, break off his pursuit. He lifts an entire person and he gains speed? Are you goddamn kidding me? But just as they rounded the corner, he heard the man call out to him. What? Achi almost stopped on reflex. Hold on, did he just shout my name? How the heck does he know my name? Quaking with unease, Achi slipped into the crowd. Yo, this is terrifying! Achi, could you please set me down now? A meek voice pulled him from his panic. Huh? He looked down at the girl in his arms, just in a crowd. Oh man, that's awkward. yeah, I didn't really think about it, but he's in this crowd, but he like sprinted with the woman in his arms like into this crowd. That must be the weirdest thing people have seen all day, including as much weird stuff as this game has done. People in the crowd all around them were watching and chuckling. That is pretty goofy. It's not like romantic, he's been running with her. Like, what the hell is the context of this situation? I mean, I'm really happy you saved me and all, but being carried around like this is, Hitomi was blushing beet red, but Achi's expression had gone pale. Achi, wait! Had he really heard that right? That's what it had sounded like. He set Hitomi back on her feet, then used his shirt sleeve to wipe the sweat from his face. You okay, Hitomi asked? When we were running just now, did that guy say anything? Not that I heard, no. Huh. Had you just imagined it then? Maybe. Achi was sure he didn't recognize the man. There's something weird about that guy, though, Hitomi murmured. She furrowed her brow. No matter where we run, he keeps catching up to us. Does Hitomi have something on her or something? Because how does this guy keep finding them? Or maybe it's Achi who has got something on him. Like on his jacket or whatever? Who the hell knows? It's almost like he knows where we're going. She was right. Finding a particular pair of people in a place as big as Shibuya bordered on the impossible. And yet, somehow, the assassin had tracked them down several times now. Yeah, Achi said. It's like he's got some way of locating us or something. He got a sudden idea. That's it. What if they're doing the whole tracking thing, but, like, backwards? What? Hitomi's eyes widened. Okay, so you know how in police shows they always stick a tracking device in the bag with the ransom money? Like that, but backwards. They stick a bag with the ransom money inside a tracking device, obviously. Okay, so they just, yeah, the game knew. Okay, so backwards isn't the right way to describe this, but Achi doesn't realize that. He does seem to know what a tracking device is, at least. A radio transmitter that can be located by the signal it emits. The Japanese police sometimes refer to this as a beeper, not to be confused with the English slang term beeper, meaning a pager. Interesting. Backwards? Yeah, like instead of putting the tracker on the money, they put it on you. Yeah, that would not be backwards, but that would be interesting. Hitomi frowned. I don't see how I could possibly have a tracker on me, she said. I mean, I'm just wearing my clothes from home. Oh. Huh. Well, then how is he doing it, then? Barely a moment passed from the moment he got the words out of his mouth. For God's sake, though! Like, come on! Once again, the man with the cane stepped out on the road ahead of them. It really did seem as if he'd known exactly where they were going to be. How the hell is this happening? Achi groaned. He reached for Hitomi's waist, ready to pick her up again. It's okay, I can run by myself. Achi took her by the hand instead, and they raced into another alley. This guy just will not give up. At the far end of the alley, he could see a forklift parked beside a pile of cardboard boxes. Achi decided to throw the boxes at the pursuer, Silent Hill Shattered Memory style, hop into the forklift and drive it at the assassin. That's way more badass, but I think it might be the worst idea. But what do you think we should do? A or B? Both of them are action-packed. B is way more YOLO. I don't know how that's going to go. So, how do you think we should do this? I'm actually curious if the chat is going to determine what they think is best, or if they kind of want to see what they may think will lead to a bad ending and go for that. I am so curious. Or who knows? Maybe that's, maybe it's not like a non-choice after all. A Paul 4, yeah, we haven't left the block all morning, that's true, but yes, it is hard to find them. Like, Shibuya looks like New York City. If you go 1 or 2 blocks away and the other person really doesn't know where you went, they're not finding you. It's not happening. Alright, so we're going 2 Bs, 1 A, 3 Bs, 4 Bs. Everyone's going forklift. I really think it's the wrong decision, but that's kind of why I want to choose it. So let's go. Forklift time, baby. This ends now! Achi leapt into the forklift and hit the ignition. The engine roared to life. He lowered the forks and stepped on the accelerator, picking up the pallet of cardboard boxes as he charged toward the man with the cane. The tower of boxes struck the man with a thud. Wait, really? It actually worked? I would have bet money we would have gotten shot. Achi kept accelerating, driving him back a good 10 meters or so. And by the way, forklifts can be kind of fast. The gunman let out a low groan at the impact. No kidding! I really didn't think this was going to work. I really didn't. Achi then hit the brake, shifted back into reverse, and hit the gas again, backing up as fast as he could. The boxes crashed down in a heap, burying the assassin underneath. Several small bottles spilled from the broken cardboard and shattered on the pavement. Oh! Burning hammer? Huh? Hey, what the hell are you doing? A middle-aged man in a sanitation uniform had come running at the sound of the forklift. Sorry, man, gotta run, Achi exclaimed as he jumped from the vehicle. And don't forget to recycle that glass! For God's sake. He took Hitomi's hand and sprinted away down the alleyway. The sanitation worker glowered after him, then turned and gazed despondently at the jumbled pile of boxes and broken glass. That really does suck. Like, that sucks. Yo, so much Achi, like, we still haven't jumped. Their ragged breathing echoed through the maze of side streets. All that work just to wind up fleeing for their lives again. Achi ground his teeth in frustration. Are you for real? There are 2... And we could switch from the tip? There are 2 main types of teeth grinding. The subconscious act of gritting one's teeth together while asleep, Or gritting one's teeth together as a response to anger or frustration. Here we have an example of number 2. At roughly the same time, Midorikawa is grinding his teeth while trying to keep his schedule. This game is freaking insane! Nope. Still, though! This game is way too much. Hitomi, he groaned when they slowed down to catch their breath at last. I'm so sorry. Hitomi was nonplussed. Sorry? Whatever for? I keep saying how I'm going to help you, but instead I just keep putting you in danger. Achi, no. If you hadn't been with me, I'm sure I'd already be No! Achi hurried to cut her off before she could finish. Don't go there, please. And he sighed, then spoke again more quietly. I just want to help you. Clenching a fist, he looked up at the sky. A tiny sliver of blue was visible through the narrow gap between the buildings. Hitomi hung her head. Honestly, I can hardly believe how much you've done for me. I do appreciate it, but still. The lengths you've gone to. Achi looked at his feet, then drew himself up. Well, I admit it's not just because of some gut instinct, or your love for the environment, he said. There's another reason I'm doing this. I'm a video game protagonist. There is? Achi paused, searching for the right words. I got a little sister. Her name's Suzune. She's cute and smart, kind of the exact opposite of me, you know? His voice took on an uncharacteristic solemnity. But she's got a weak heart, so she's in the hospital. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But what does that have to do with wanting to help me? Well, back when Suzune was first admitted, I'd go and visit her every day. But she... Achi, you don't need to come visit me every day, you know. The quiet hospital room made Suzune's voice sound all the more frail. What are you talking about, Achi said. You know I'm worried about you. I'll be fine on my own, really. Achi had heard that line before. The more she insisted she was fine, though, the more reluctant he was to leave her. Besides, aren't you the amazing guy who helps hold Shibuya together? They need you out there. Achi didn't know how to respond to that. Much as it was flattering to think he played some important role, he was really just hanging out and goofing off with his pals. It certainly wasn't anything for his sister to be proud of. I'd rather you spent your energy helping people who need it more than me. What do you mean people who need the help more? Who could possibly need help right now more than you? Achi scratched his head in confusion, and his sister gave him a weak, tiny smile. You'll figure it out, she said. I'm sure they'll find you soon enough. But I'm going to be here with you. I'll be fine. Suzune's voice was pale, but her tone was firm. My big brother is going to be out there doing his best to help people. That's what makes me happy, and that's what keeps me going. Her voice was clear and unwavering, as if to head off his rebuttal. Alright, Achi said with a reluctant sigh. So then I guess, I'll just go out there and help people who are in trouble? Satisfied, Suzune smiled. Thank you. And can you promise me one more thing? Of course. Anything you like. He thumped himself on the chest. If you're going to help someone, make sure you see it all the way through to the end, okay? Okay. No calling it quits partway through, yeah? You got it. I just worry, Suzune said. I know you have a tendency to lose interest in things. Look, don't sweat it. I swear I won't give up on this. Pinky swear? Achi stuck out his pinky finger. But I want you to promise me something in return. Promise me you won't let this thing beat you. Suzune looked at her finger around her brother's, her sad smile fragile as glass. And so there you have it, Achi said. Kind of a rubbish story, I know, not very funny. So your sister's heart condition? It's pretty bad. Achi nodded. You know, she called me amazing. There's nothing amazing about me. Suzune, she's the amazing one. She's been in the hospital so long, in so much pain, but she never complains. All I do is hang out and goof off with my friends. He gave a shrug. But I just kept thinking about how happy she'd be if I really did help people. It had turned out that finding people in need hadn't been all that simple. The only helpful thing Achi had been able to think of was going around picking up trash. Oh, so that's why he does it? And that's why Suzune's idiot brother left SOS to be Shibuya's garbage man. Did your friends know, Hitomi asked, about your sister? I didn't tell them. I didn't want to pin this all on her being sick. Ah, I see. Well, at least now Hitomi understood what the fight with the local toughs had been about. The sound of approaching footsteps jerked it back into the present. Like, I know he probably has some kind of tracking thing, but give me a goddamn break. This guy is way too relentless. The sound of approaching footsteps jerked them back to the present. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. He raised his gun. There was no time to flee. Achi quickly stepped in front of Hitomi. If you shoot us here, people are going to come running, he said. I'm guessing you don't want to get pegged for murder? The assassin didn't flinch. Jesus. Stay out of my way, Achi. Who the hell? This time there was no doubt. The gunman had spoken Achi's name loud and clear. Yo, this game. How do you know who I am? The man stared at him through the sights of his gun. She has to die, Achi. It's for your own good? Yo, this game is getting insane. What? What does he mean? Hitomi whispered. Achi, what is he talking about? Achi's mind was a whirl. Things were coming at him too fast for him to process. I don't know this guy. Hitomi, please, you have to believe me. But... Hitomi took a doubtful step away from Achi. The assassin didn't miss his opening. He quickly aimed at her. Cut the crap, man. What do you mean killing her is for my own good? Once she's dead, you'll understand. This game is insane! The gunman's finger tightened on the trigger. Yet to be continued. So Achi's story just goes. So we're supposed to, like, make decisions to affect other people's stories and bounce or whatever. Yeah, Strange Mr. Kippy, yeah, the gunman is Achi from the future, and that's why he knows where to go. God damn, that'd be something else. Alright, let me go to where you can jump. Where does it show me jumps? There's 2 jumps, but weren't there, like, 3? Yeah, Tama's way at the beginning. Yo, this game is bananas. Yeah, the assassin is the player playing a different timeline to get Achi's good ending. Again, I wish. Yo, this game is crazy! I thought the Osawa plotline was, like, edge of your seat, but Achi's story just became one of the most interesting. Alright, let's bounce over to, Wait, did I go too far back? I think I went too far back. Where's the Tama jump? This is... Oh, I'm supposed to be going past 12. I was being foolish. I wasn't looking at the times. This must be it. Yeah, we're looking up the window and we, Tama. Someone. Skablang! Boom! We're in. But does this matter, though? I guess it probably does. The storeroom right. The storeroom door opens with a rough grating sound. Okay, where's the light switch? Oh, we're back here? Did this matter then at all? Did this change anything? I don't know if this matters. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to Achi. We're going to throw the box at him. Although then again, should I go back to Tama because the box... No, yeah, let's do this. Let's keep the boxes. Throw the boxes, see what happens. Ugh! Achi snatched up the nearest box, turned, and threw it at the man with the cane. The box was filled with something heavy. This ought to do some damage. Fakavan jumps might unlock something, I don't know. He watched in satisfaction as it struck the assassin in the face. The man staggered sideways. Here, have another! One by one, he hurled every box in the pile, so it really doesn't matter. And one for the road. Yeah, it just didn't matter. I guess I'll go back to town with that. The last box wasn't properly sealed. It broke open as it struck the pursuer, sending several bottles flying. They shattered as they crashed into the street, splashing red liquid. The assassin dropped to one knee, scrubbing at his face with his hand. Achi looked on in surprise. He couldn't possibly have hit the guy that hard. Peering at the man more closely, he saw that he was spattered in red liquid. Apparently the stuff in the bottles had gotten in his eyes. Now's our chance! Achi took off with Hitomi, leaving their pursuer kneeling in the alley. Okay. Strange. Now, I'm assuming the story goes the same place, right? Their ragged breathing echoed through the maze of side streets. All that work just to wind up fleeing for their lives again. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know, man. So either way, we just stunned the guy. So that's to be continued anyway. So how are we supposed to make this work? What if we don't punch the guy? I don't freaking know, man. Too much at stake. Ignore the guys. No ass kicking for you. Gritting his teeth, he tried to slip past them, but the largest of the three grabbed him by the collar. I guess they're all getting their ass kicked like anyway. You ran out, man. Suzumu's the one who runs this town now. You got no right to keep acting like you're the boss of us. He shoved Achi up against the wall. Says who? Achi asked. Susumu? Say what now? Did Susumu say I've got no right to act like the boss? Bitch, please. Susumu ain't got time to worry about your sorry ass. Ah, is that so? It happens, just no matter what. Achi's his fist flashed out, catching the man clean on the jaw. He dropped to the ground with a dull thud. Boom. So tell Susumu this. Everyone in Shibuya needs to just play nice and have fun. So we've done this. Yeah, I don't know. So where should I go with this one? Oh wait, I could go back to Midorikawa and see if dealing with Chiaki did anything. I think. If this doesn't work, I could do the other Chiaki thing, right? It's no use. People won't stop to talk no matter how hard I try. Find some way to manage. I'm hanging up now. And so we did. Had to hurry, get to the demo venue, but he lost the map. Think, man, where were they holding an event like this? Someplace bit. Yeah, but I can't skip any of this. Have we seen this? The health food company sales demo, we hurried to the building. Yeah, we did not see this. Interesting. Yeah, so he just hangs up on her. So he lost the map. Where do I go? So he stopped and he caught sight of a multi-tenant building. A whole stream of women were filing inside, and all of them looked a little heavy. Pay dirt. This had to be the health food company sales demo. He hurried into the building. Okay. The women were queued up down the hallway. This was definitely the place then. More confident by the moment, Midorikawa made his way up the stairs. Finally, he reached the front of the line. There was a notice posted outside the doorway ahead. Midorikawa read it out loud. Auditions for the starring role on Sun TV's Sumo Queen 2? Wrong way? A suspense drama about a string of murders that crop up while a group of female sumo wrestlers tour the country. The Maegashira, Komusubi, Sekiwake, and Ozeki, the 5th through the 2nd place wrestlers from East and West, are all killed in sequence, leaving only the two top-ranked Yokozuna. With the real killer still unknown, things come to a heated climax in the ring during the final match, where the loser tearfully confesses to her crimes. It concludes with the victorious wrestler, who'd also been playing the part of detective, sorrowfully looking the culprit in the eye and stating, "It's off to the big house with you." That the build-up was all for that one stupid joke. This game is way too good. How the hell did it not get localized way earlier? This is freaking golden. I love this. Oh my god. It was a sequel series to a recent TV drama featuring full-figured actresses. Jeez, that was good. That's it! Midorikawa exclaimed, a new project proposal springing fully formed into his mind. He felt as if he'd been struck by a bolt of divine inspiration. Big bodies, bigger names. A new arena opens for aspiring plus-sized actresses. Should have plus-sized. Never mind the diet drink demo. This was going to be Midorikawa's big story. Midorikawa managed to meet the deadline. Really? The show, however, wound up being a massive flop. Sales of that issue of 4-star general gossip were likewise lackluster, with an unprecedented number of copies going unsold. What, he still hangs himself? Jesus Christ, man! Mr. Toyama's debts continued to spiral out of control, and before long, Heaven Publishing was no more. That's not even fair! We completed our mission! Dude, come on! Not cool! Yo, for real, this game. I really don't want to end 2 streams in a row with a hanging, ending. Sumo showed his massive belly flop. Hey. Midorikawa wound up going to the wrong venue entirely. His main problem was that he didn't have good, detailed directions to the Burning Hammer demo. Tama can do something at 12:15 that causes Chiri to head to that cafe, and Chiri can help Midorikawa get to where he needs to go. Damn. Tama it is. It's off to the big house with you. That's the... Oh my god, that's stupid. Alright, so Tama at 12:15. So we get Chiri to go to a cafe. Going together is what led Chiri to the cafe, right? Kabong. I'm super hungry. Chiri's gone. No, I think we need to go to choice B, actually. Because I think Chiri directly addresses the cafe. Oops. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. How did we get Chiri to go to the cafe? Was it option A? I'm forgetting this. How do we make this work? We bump into the guy. The sales demo starts. Oh no, what do I do? So I guess I'll go back to going with her, I think. I totally forgot how this works. This is a pain in my ass. We go together, we bump into Toyama. Okay, yeah, her eyes light up on a cafe. Good. Alright. We can make this work. We've locked Chiri in. So Midorikawa, let's do that. Let's go back to him. Okay, here he is. Where's the part where we, 12:15, right? Yeah, we're in the cafe, but now that Chiri's here, something might happen. Interesting. So yeah, what if we ignore her? Well, we'll continue to do that and see what happens. And Chiaki said she's no good. But then it's that sumo queen thing, right? I don't know, man. How am I supposed to do this? If I get to the bottom of this, then doesn't that lead to a different bad ending? Yeah. I don't know, man. This is 12:15-ish. So let's just do pen to paper and see what happens and get to that point. If anyone in the chat has any ideas for how I should handle this, feel free to let me know. Like, what if we listen? Does anything happen? I don't freaking know. I mean, that does get them to leave. Yeah, he makes them leave. That didn't work. And then we're up to option B. The Achi jump to Tama? Okay, yeah, I'll try it, because, yeah, I don't know where this is going. I guess we do have to get Tama over there. So fine, Achi jump to Tama. Let's see if anything happens. Oh, wait, but this was jump to Minora, right? I'll try the Tama one next. Did I do this right? Yeah, I already missed it. Jump. Can I just not? Oh, it's the grinding teeth, right. Yeah, I really can't do it. What a pain in the ass. Alright. Alright, so we'll do the jump to Tama and see if anything happens. This might have been the wrong one as well. Oh, this was the Osawa one. I can't do this. Somebody. Alright, we'll go to Tama. Let's go. And we jump to Tama. Kablam. But I don't know where I'm supposed to go with this. It looked like it was just the same progress, right? Like, we've already done this. It's one of them. I challenge it to single combat or snatch up the cardboard box and make a run for it. And then we got the burning hammer thing. The truck, we gotta find that truck. Oh my god. And then we just do it? It looks like it's all the same thing. I guess I'll do it from the jump, though, see if anything comes of it. I guess. Yeah, but fuck, if I just did the scrolling thing and the dialogue was the same. I mean, I guess I'll see if anything changes if I do the it's them thing, I suppose. Actually, wait, yeah, it's the same jump, I didn't want to do that. But I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I might have to look this up before the next time I stream. Yeah, if there was a jump, there was a jump for a reason, but everything looks the same. So I'll take the cardboard box and make a run for it. God, I love that. Hooray! Compliments about eels. So we've seen this already. Why don't we start our own company? Uh-oh. Like, I don't know, man. It's out back on the loading dock. It's probably that forklift, right? But Achi messed with that. But I don't know how we're supposed to make that work. We either throw the boxes or we steal the forklift, right? So how do we, like, undo that? Do we make a different choice with Achi or something? Like, I don't know how we're supposed to influence this. I think it's somebody else's story. Yeah, like, it probably was the pallet of burning hammer and the alleyway, but, like, I guess the burning hammer has to be missing in order for us to go find it. But then again, the burning hammer is right there in the boxes, so maybe Achi threw something else? Burning hammer! No! God, this guy's the best. Kind of everyone in this game is the best. But as you can see, nothing is changing. Like, we need to get Shuri to the cafe. We're doing that, but I don't know if anything's coming up with this. Well, I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. So So I guess let's go together because she sees the cafe and then she walks off afterward. That's the best I got. Like, nothing has changed. As you can see. Unless I have to make it to the continue screen again. I don't know. I love that. She's just like, eh. Tama 1205, don't hit the roach. Kano 1210, don't question Chiaki. That's what I have to do? Strange Mr. Kippy, is that the actual, like, answer? Because I could do that. But didn't I already do that? Didn't I not question Chiaki? I'm pretty sure I made that happen. Like, Strange Mr. Kippy, I appreciate the information, but, like, I went back to Chiaki and did not question her. Like, so I already should have that covered. And we did the don't hit the roach with this one, too. We ran away. So, like, I should be good. Unless the keep out no longer happens, right? Maybe I'll no longer keep out. Maybe I actually just have to reach the end. We'll see. No, it's still keep out. Like, what do you want from me at this point? Like, there we go. As you can see... whoops. As you can see, I did not hit the roach. Tama, 1205, don't hit the roach. That's where we are right now anyway. Kano, 1210. What did you say? Do not question Chiaki, and I'm pretty sure I didn't. Yeah, I did both of those things already. This has got to be someone else's story, but I don't know where to go with this. Midorikawa looks like he's stuck, too. Like, we're just leaving to a bad end. Osawa, I don't think I can really do anything with. It just went to be continued, I think. Tama's got keep out. Like, I don't know, man. It's getting to the point where it's getting difficult to figure this out. I'll take a look at Kano's other option of buying time. Maybe the money was taken out, just to see what happens. I've got it! Sasayama perked up. You got what? Each time these crooks hands off the case, they sneak out a bundle of 1,000,000 yen. They keep doing that and eventually the case itself is empty. Of course. That's how they've been playing us. Kano and Sasayama exchanged a look. How many people would need to make the switch for them to get all the money, Sasayama asked. 50 million yen divided by 1 million. That makes 5 people. That's it then? No, wait. 50 people. Yeah, I was gonna say. That many? That can't be the deal then. Sasayama said, guess not. They both sided in unison. Yeah, I guess that's just too bad. We didn't get a chewing out from Kuze, but that was it. So that's where that took us. That was one of the non-choices. Midorikawa I haven't really had anything to do with. Osawa... Yeah, we took care of Osawa. I don't know, there's gotta be some weird set of combinations here. I still can't jump to Minoru Midorikawa, which is frustrating. Or to Osawa. Hey there, Twinkle Toes. So I am rapidly running out of ideas here. Oh, that's right, this led to a bad end, didn't it? But why does it not show me the bad end? Yeah, we can't just let them do whatever they want, but we've already read this. So I don't know about this. Wait, what? Apparently I did something to change things. I guess we didn't get chewed out by Kuze the first time. Maybe Kano's story changes. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. Well, you've lost sight of it completely, a voice said out of nowhere. What? Kano spun around. It looks like we got new content, ladies and gentlemen. Is that Kuze right here? No, Shizuo. Oh no, the father! Oh, cause we... Did we talk to them and get him out of the cafe? We might have led to a new bad ending for Kano just because we talked those people out of the cafe with Midorikawa. Awkward! Rumi was with him. Sir? Kano stuttered. Weren't you supposed to be waiting at the cafe for... There was some lowlife there, so we left. Yeah, wow, we affected Kano's story with Midorikawa's story. So we're still not getting what we want, but this is something new. Rumi's dad looked plenty mean under ordinary circumstances. Right now, he looked like a man possessed. Oh, beg your pardon? They're playing like the horror movie organ. I'm still on duty at the moment. I'm going back home, Shizuo huffed. You're not marrying my daughter. He turned to walk away. No, please, just wait. I'm done waiting. Now I'm going home. Please, don't do this. Just hear me out. I've heard all I need to hear from you. Rumi, we're leaving. Dad, please. Goodbye. Awkward. Seizing his daughter by the hand, Shizuo stormed off without another word, dragging her behind. Bad decision with Midorikawa. Shinya, she called out over her shoulder. Rumi. She was gone. Rumi was gone. Kano desperately wanted to go after her, but he hesitated in an agony of indecision. I can't turn my back on my responsibilities. I'm a detective. My work has to be my first priority. Going after Rumi isn't what a good detective would do. Oh, Detective Tateno, what should I do? Tateno, Still, the dictum echoed in his mind. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. 6 months later? Forget the plot. 6 months later. Yo, this game went way out. What the hell? Kano made his way through a small corner of a vast field in the Nagano countryside. Slowly and leisurely, he tilled the soil. He surprised himself with his own newfound enthusiasm for organic farming, learning more from Shizuo day after day. Oh wow, so he just dropped the case. Wow. His father-in-law had taught him the ways of farming from the ground up, and while things had been rocky between them at first, their friendship was now growing strong. Wow, man. Hey there, Crimson Alice. Hooray! Pausing to wipe his brow, he smiled at the acreage around him. Yo, this game took a turn! He looked forward to tending the crops he'd sown until harvest came around. If he'd stayed on as a detective, he might well never have known the joy he now found in his work. And this wasn't the only seed Kano had planted, really. By the time harvest season came around, the new life growing within his dear Rumi's belly would be ready to celebrate it with them. I love how the happy ending is the bad ending. That's hysterical, like, and Kano lived happily ever after. Bad end. We got married! This game's amazing. Kano went after Rumi and Shizuo, proving his devotion and earning her hand in marriage. Now he's a farmer in Nagano, and crime in Tokyo is someone else's problem. But hang on a sec. Why weren't Rumi and Shizuo waiting at the cafe like they were supposed to be? Well, there's no way for Kano to know about how one man's bit of curiosity at that cafe led to a strange twist of fate. This game is brilliant. Yeah, Galleon, he actually went home and became a family man. Strange Mr. Kippy, I'll answer how we're doing with Osawa in a moment. Let me just go to Midorikawa and not harass the couple in the cafe real quick. And then I'll check up on Osawa for you. We're not far. The last thing we did with Osawa was talk to Tanaka in the bathroom. Yo, that was absolutely worth it. No, finish the article. Besides, back to typing, it was but I was a little reading focused. And? Save complete. Okay, let's check out Osawa. We're not really far with Osawa at all. We had a choice of wondering how lab security could have been affected, and it looked like a non-choice. And we had the choice of what to do with Tanaka whispering to us in the bathroom, and that also looked like a non-choice. So, Strange Mr. Kippy, we are not far with Osawa. We're at like 1220, 1225. Yeah, Cat Sith, bad end. This game's freaking gold. I think we're gonna have to solve the mystery of what to do with the other characters next. Yeah, we need to get to 1235. I guess I'll see if I can figure out what to do with this. I don't know, with this set of timelines later. But for now, I'm gonna call it. So thank you very much for joining the stream, and have a wonderful night.